Behind the Grooves.
Hello everyone and welcome to Behind the Grooves, where I, Josh DeZern, the Vinyl Kid of Florida, take you to the other side of the record behind the grooves. Today I'll be looking at possibly one of the most influential albums of all time, a South African import of Paul Simon's legendary 1986 record Graceland, which took me an eternity to find. This album was released in August of 1986, and it really got him back on track with his music, because in the years leading up to Graceland, he had experienced a lot of things that sank his career in a way and that he doesn't really like to talk about now. He released an album in 1983 called Hearts and Bones, which was not a big hit to the world. It was not very well received. And he also divorced his wife, Carrie Fisher, I know it's crazy, in 1984, and he reunited and once again split up with his longtime partner, Art Garfunkel, in 1981, leading up to around the time he married and divorced Carrie Fisher. So, technically, if you could say so, Paul was suffering from a bout of depression. But after receiving a bootleg cassette tape, which was entitled Gamboot's Accordion Jive Hits Volume 2, I think that's what it was called, he received that in 1984, he was so impressed and fascinated with it, he wanted to make an album with sort of that same feel. So that's why a whole bunch of musicians were brought together and they met up with him to record this album in places like New York, London, and South Africa. On the cover here is a photo of Paul Simon in his glasses, even though usually on the cover that you see, you will see this on the front, this picture here, and I don't know for sure, but this on the back. One more thing about the recording of the record, it featured on a few tracks some of his heroes from his late childhood into today, like Linda Ronstadt and the Everly Brothers. The album was, needless to say, greatly received, and it made Paul Simon more well-known, and here's the track listing, so see if you can recognize any of these songs, because they're all pretty big songs. Side A has The Boy in the Bubble, Graceland, I Know What I Know, Gumboots, and Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. Side B has You Can Call Me Al, Under African Skies, Homeless, Crazy Love Volume 2, That Was Your Mother, All Around the World, or The Myth of Fingerprints. That is one track. And of course here is a bunch of information, and like I just said, a friend gave me a cassette of an album called Gumboots. I was right. Good. Anyway, one last thing about this record before I open it up. In 1987, this was the second time that Paul Simon received this. This album received Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards in 1987, the year after it was released. And this was not Paul Simon's first time receiving this award. He also received it in 1975 or 76 for his Still Crazy After All These Years record. And even that wasn't the first time he received Album of the Year. Along with Art Garfunkel, he released Bridge Over Troubled Water in 1970, which was their final studio recording together. And in 1971, that received Album of the Year. So that was pretty exciting for him. Now let's open this baby up. The inner sleeve is just the lyrics on each side of it, side A lyrics and side B lyrics. This is on a Warner Brothers Records label, side A. And side B. So, there you have it, the long-awaited Paul Simon Graceland, of which I've been wanting to review ever since this entire crazy thing began. A little personal thing about this, unfortunately I'm going to have to upgrade this very soon because little did I know that the person selling it neglected to tell me that there were skips on one of the sides of the record, but that's alright. And of course on You Can Call Me Al, so I definitely have to upgrade it. But either way, thank you very much for watching this review. It means the world to me that you would take a few moments out of your day to watch a dude like me review such an amazing, amazing, legendary record such as this. As always, please subscribe for more Behind the Grooves. I try to release a new episode whenever I want, mostly Saturdays. And it looks like we're doing pretty well this season, so Season 5 should be a possibility. This is Josh DeZern, the Vinyl Kid of Florida, signing out with Peace and Love and a 1986 original pressing from South Africa of Paul Simon's Graceland. Rock on and stay groovy.